crusty old tractor and a trusty old mule. I keep this place running, trying to play it cool. I'm maintaining my half-ass homestead where the bluegrass grows, working the land with my hands, that's how it goes. Though it ain't fancy, it's the life for me, living off the land, happy and free. On my half-ass homestead, I toil day by day, planting seeds in the soil, hoping they'll find their way. With a rusty old tractor and a trusty old mule, I keep this place running, trying to play it cool. I'm maintaining my half-ass homestead where the bluegrass grows, working the land with my hands, that's how it goes. Though it ain't fancy, it's the life for me, living off the land, happy and free.
All right, guys, this is going to be a quick one. I'm not going to stay on for very long, but I got to ask you a question. Do you agree with what's going on with our border right now? Because I surely don't. I surely don't. Joe Biden says, well, I got to wait for Congress to be able to step in, or I can't do anything. And he's wrong. We call them executive powers. They have every right. They have every right to be able to say, Mr. President, you have all authority to be able to step in on this one, walk in on it. But I live in New York, and New York is just being really stupid right now. And what I mean by that is we just had 2 officers severely beaten. The report is there was 5. I don't agree with that. I watched the video many times. I counted 11. And out of those 11, only 5 were brought to court. 4 were left without bail. One of them apparently is there with bail, and he'll be let out because somebody will pay his bail. You know, there's all these non-government organizations that somebody will pay the bail on this guy, and he'll get out. Most of those 4 that were already released already took off and went to California. But that blew my mind for starters, because, you know, Alvin Bragg, our district attorney in the New York City area, said, yeah, that's okay, let him out. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's not okay. You know, that's a felony. A misdemeanor, yeah, you can probably let it slide. Did they have marijuana in their pocket? Let it slide. But when you're attacking a police officer, that automatically becomes a felony, especially when you're attacking him while he's doing his job. He's in the line of duty. So that kind of bothered me a little bit. But what bothers me more now is that just today I learned that they have $53 million going to 500 families, to immigrant families living in hotel rooms at the Roosevelt. That's a very expensive motel. And the people that are living there don't belong in our country. And to say, okay, we're going to divide it up between these 500 families, $53 million. We're going to give them each this, and this is how much it's going to cost or whatnot. But we have 15 million illegal immigrants in our country, 1,500 in New York City alone. So this is 1/3 of what they're trying to do. So basically what they're saying is that we should be allowing $150 million of our tax dollars plus going to these immigrant families to say, hey, this isn't acceptable. You know, as a taxpayer, I don't accept it. And I don't think anybody should. To be honest with you, I don't think anybody should. You just had these immigrants that attacked police officers, and now they're being, the whole group of them are being rewarded. I think that's totally freaking wrong. I don't care. You know, I'm not here to say, yes, I think Joe Biden's going to be a great president, because I won't. He had every opportunity to close the border. And on day one, he shut down the border controls and started removing the fences that Donald Trump put in. Was our border totally secure then? No, it wasn't. It was a lot better than it had been, but it wasn't totally secure. Now it's totally open. Well, it had been. You know, these guys that are National Guard from Texas and Florida that are in Eagle Pass right now, that put up the fencing and made it so it went from like 3,000 a day to three over the last week. They're doing a job, and that's a job that needs to be done. We need to not make sure that we let these illegal immigrants into our country to begin with. And if they do come into our country, we need to stop them before they get a chance to leave Texas to go somewhere else. I understand why, Governor Abbott, he went through and he said, well, give me buses. Martha's Vineyard, that's a very, very sanctuary little area in the New York area. And he put them on buses. He sent them over. They weren't even there a day, and they were taken out and they were put into these planes or buses or whatever, and taken to a military camp to be watched. I don't agree with that. You said you wanted them, you got them, and now you don't want them. Well, New York City is getting them. They said they wanted them. Now they don't want them. They've actually started arresting some of them. For what, I don't know. I mean, they should have been arrested at the Texas border, put on a plane or a bus or whatever, and deported back to the countries they came from. I know everybody says, don't talk politics on your channel because politics is a bad issue. Well, that's fine to some extent, but we have to have that extent where we just say enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Enough is enough. Arkansas is real close to the Texas border. Oklahoma is right on that area. If we don't take a stand now, when these people are running up in New York and Chicago and everywhere else, then we're going to lose this country. And as a patriot, as a veteran who swore an oath, I'll be honest with anybody that ever asks me on this, my oath to the Constitution never expires. There's no expiration date. There's nobody telling me that you no longer can do what you do. I just hate the idea that our country is going to hell in a handbasket under this administration. And if people don't start standing up, it's going to get a lot worse. It's going to get a lot worse. You can't give immigrants money, and you sure as heck can't say, well, you can be released without bail. Anyway, that's my rant. I have been watching this like for the last 2 days, 3 days, and I'm upset about it because as a veteran, I should not have to see this, and neither should anybody else. I'm gonna call this one short. You guys all have a good night. See you later.